Oh man. Oh, this guy does not want to get in the net. There, little buddy. All right. Good grief. It's really quite a challenge with the camera there. And we got a spring carp, another spring carp here. Looks to be about typical size. Give him a little inspection here. Yeah, pretty typical size fish, honestly. It's a good fish though. I mean, compared to other species, that's a big fish. Some notes. It seems like the water temperature's really dropped, and the fishing's kind of been hit and miss. Like I went the first day of the season, on that last video I got, I seemed to be catching a few things, and then I went the next day and I didn't catch a friggin' thing. Nothing. Anyways, we need to probably get this guy back in the water so that he's not gonna die, and we'll let him live long carp life. Hopefully we'll catch him when he's one of them granddaddy carps and he's like 3 feet long. All right. That's what I'm using. It's basically just bread and corn and Jell-O. Right around this egg sinker, you know, just little carp hooks. This little guy looks like he might be getting dull. No, he's good. Sometimes that tip will bend over because it's a real fine tip. It'll bend over and you gotta change it out because it's no good if it's not sharp. If there's one place I would spend money as a fisherman, it would be ensuring that you have quality sharp hooks, and everything else can be very, very cheap. Just a piece of advice. Put your money in the hooks. It's kind of a view of the scenery here. Stand here. This thing was welded together with a bunch of metal that I stole out, or didn't steal, but I got all this metal from my from my grandma, my nanny, out of her old mattress. This mattress company that is actually local to Kansas City makes these mattresses. And that's the metal that they use in there. So, anyways, that stand is actually, this is a good stand because I've heard that carp are real spook-easy. So, say, you know, you want to go with the typical thing that most people do. They do the PVC pole or whatever. Well, if you put your pole up in the air in a PVC tube, what I've heard is the wind, it rattles the tip around and rattles the line around, and I guess they're real spook easy fish. You don't want that. Problem is you're not going to find anything like that because Americans don't like carp, you know. So that's not going to be for sale in a store. So if you did want to do some carp fishing and have a stand, you'd probably have to rig something up, or maybe just, I don't know. I personally, I wouldn't like set a log here and set my poles on it because I'd be too scared that they would go in the water. But this right here, with, you know, maybe 2 to 5 pounds of drag, this is gonna be good. So I mean, as long as you got your drag set, I mean, it's gonna be just fine. I tested it. So, and the truth is, I mean, how strong does it honestly have to be? You think of the strength of this compared to this fishing line here, it's probably no competition. This steel, even though it, you know, it seems kind of lightweight, it's adequate. And I think probably what's going on is, you know, a lot of people would overbuild it. But the truth is, I wouldn't, because if you overbuild it, it's going to make you miserable having to lug that piece of crap around, that big heavy piece of crap around. So anyways, I guess we'll just, you know, wait for some more fish here, hopefully, and see what's going on. It's been about an hour, and usually what I've noticed is probably after about an hour is usually when I start getting the bites. I usually have to sit. So in an area like this, what I do is I plan the area, you know. It's a good, this should be a perfect carp area because of how flat it is and how deep the water is. So the way you can tell how deep the water is you look at the land around you. You see this land? This land is flat. And so if the land is flat like this, and as it goes into the water, that slope is probably going to continue into the water. So you got a pretty good chance, I mean, not a perfect chance, but pretty good chance if the land is flat, then the water is going to be flat. So you find yourself a flat piece of land in the early spring, and you probably got Carp City. Anyways, yeah, it takes about an hour usually, and I start getting bites. I don't know if I draw them in, draw them out, who knows. I can't see these little things, but they could be on the bank eating, and, you know, I draw them out, or they could be out, or all over. You know, who freaking knows, honestly. But point being, I usually have to sit around here for about an hour before I even start getting any bites, which kind of sucks. Maybe you can move, and maybe you would, you know, have better luck that way. But the truth is I see these little fish jumping all the time, and so I know they're here. So I don't know if there's any point in moving. I think probably the best strategy is to, like I said, find that flat piece of land so you can pretty much guarantee that they're there, because picking up and moving is really crappy. It's a humongous hassle. So yeah, and also water temperature is pretty important. There's an optimum water temperature. So just a few thoughts here, and I guess I'm gonna turn the camera off now and maybe hopefully get some more fish later. Got another one. This devil put up a fight. He took off initially. Oh yeah, he's a fighter. Oh, get in here, devil. Get over here. Oh, yeah. This thing's pulling drag like crazy. Wonder if how big he is. Usually, you know, this time of year, the water's kind of cold, and I notice because it's cold, they don't really fight as hard. Like, there is a humongous difference between catching a carp in the summer versus catching a carp in the summer versus catching a carp in the winter. Sorry, I'm kind of distracted looking, trying to see how big this guy is. He's typical. typical size, but oh, yeah. Yeah. Crazy animal will wear out eventually. And I'm gonna net him and get a good look at him. That last guy hit that bait hard, honestly. I felt bad because his mouth, tore his mouth up a little bit, you know? Get over here, devil. Got him. All right. Yeah, he's a big one. He's a little bit bigger than that last one. Maybe a little bit bigger than average. The big ones come out first as far as migrating from the deep. So whenever you're in the early spring, you're looking at a better chance at getting a bigger fish as far as carp goes. Yeah, he's a big boy. A little bit bigger than that last one. Actually, that's a big girl, not a big boy, technically speaking. The males this time of year, the males have a bump right here, and they're a little bit different color, I think. So they got a bump on the top of their head right before mating season. So I think this is probably a girl carp. Pretty girl too, good and big. So yeah, the bump on the head, you know, the interesting thing is the bump on the head actually disappears. I think, if I remember right. I mean, don't quote me on that one, but I'm pretty sure the bump on the head, it will disappear when they're out of mating season. So I'll get this guy back in the water so he doesn't die. Or this girl, I should say. Oh, get on out of here, buddy. Go. You can go now. Go. Looks like he's stunned. I guarantee it'll make a recovery, though. Nope. Yeah, he's gonna go. He'll be just fine. Wasn't out of the water very long at all. Yeah. Good fish. Looks like I probably got another fish. I'll give it a minute. Looked like he took the pole down a little bit. Maybe not. I mean, yeah, there's something messing with it. Yeah, that's got to be something. They usually hit it a lot harder than that, though. Might be a small fish, but I think there's definitely something. Yep. All right. Oh. Or maybe. Well, should give them some more time. Usually they hit it harder than that. Whatever. That sucks. Guess what? Another fish. Took all of maybe a minute. All of a freaking minute. And is he still on here? Yeah, he is. Okay. He must have swam towards me. Sometimes they do that and they trick you. They'll swim towards you and feel like they're not on there anymore. I don't think this is going to be a big one. Probably just a normal one, honestly. Yeah, he felt like a normal one. I love this little pole too, by the way. I got this at Walmart. It's like, what is it, a fusion? That's what it's called. Really, pretty decent, very well-made little pole. And it's not so big and clunky. It's not so big and clunky. It's hard to use. Oh, get in here. Come on. There we go. Netted us another fish. Third one on the day. Should have been the fourth. That last one was a miss. A no-go. Get this guy out of here. Oh boy. Decent fish. Decent day. Decent lake. Really a pretty good lake, actually. Oh. Try to do a little damage to this guy. Take a peek at him. Oh. Yeah, good fish. Roll him over. See what else we got here. Yeah. Nothing that I can see out of the ordinary. We'll let him back. Oh. Alright, he's out of here. On to live a happy carp life. Okay, so I'm gonna do another little test while I'm out here. I'll let you see maybe a little tidbit here. A little temperature measurement, because it truly is pretty important. In fact, I've been told that every single aspect of fishing is really dependent on the temperature. So you see, when I got here this morning, and by the way, 57 is what you want for carp. That's the perfect. You probably should look that up, but 57 is what carp is supposed to be good for, or really good at. So when I got here this morning, it was 55, and now it's up to 60. Got another one. Yep, he's on there. He be on there. Oh shoot, no. Boy, that was a freaking disaster. All right. Oh. Tripped over my nani fishing pole holder that I was talking about, that I made from my grandma. Her old mattress. I welded up some some nani metal so that my grandmother will live on through my fishing. Oh, man, this guy's all over the place. Oh man, did you see that crap? He got off the hook. I got him all the way in and he's off the hook. Damn the luck. Oh man. Oh well. That is the second time today that I've had a fish that gets off somehow. You know, I guess that's just the way of it. Whatever. Still fun. I bet he was probably, as far as I could tell, he was probably about as big as that last one. So, man. Got another one. Clearly. Wondering when I was going to get another one. So, while I'm sitting here trying to get this guy in, figured I would make another point about that temperature that I was just talking about. And so something that is good about knowing the temperature is you could plan when you're going to be awake so that you can fish when you don't want to have to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So if you think about it, the best temperatures for carp are probably going to be in the spring and in the fall, and that's good because and also the time of the day that those temperatures are going to be present are going to be in normal hours of operation, so you're not going to have to be up at crazy hours of the night. So something to think about. Ooh, this guy, he definitely hit it hard. No joke. I'm telling you, it could be going back to that water temperature thing, honestly. Like I said, really early on in the morning, though, that cold water temperature, I noticed that they don't fight as hard. But like I just showed, the water temperature really increased, which would explain a similar sized fish putting up, you know, 1.5 times the fight. So, yeah. Get him out. Honestly, you see one of these things, you're gonna see all of them. They all look alike. They're all pretty similar. And it's kind of like going to the amusement park. You ride the rides once and it's no more fun anymore. So it's honestly, that is entirely the case with, you know, fishing. Once you do it, you've done it, been there, done it. But it's still pretty fun, you know. Anyways, that's a pretty big fish. It's a good one. The freaking devil knocked all my other poles out of their place. Oh. Yep, nice fish. I'm gonna let him go. Ooh. He's good and cold too. Oh, there he goes. Actually, he stopped right there in the water. He's just hanging out. Look at him. I could probably pick him up right now. Get out of here, buddy. Well, there he goes. Oh, guys, I got one more. I didn't even know I had it on my line. There's a little guy. I'm just packing up to go home. and I see this little peewee on my line here. So we're gonna check him out and see. This is a really good size to eat, actually, if you were interested in eating carp, which I actually do recommend. You know, a lot of people in America don't like carp, but the truth is America is the minority because the whole world likes carp, except for us. So, and yes, I have eaten carp, and yes, it is more challenging to eat, but it's actually very good. I really love this Brazilian recipe. It is real spicy, and it's got so much fat in it that the second it hits your lips, you would be crazy not to think it was good. And also, I mean, really mainly, I think it's more about seasoning, and well, with carp, the bones are awful. The only way, and I do mean the only way, to enjoy carp is to pressure cook it and make sure the bones are good and tender. But yeah, that spicy Brazilian recipe was freaking phenomenal. It had a little coconut oil in it. Oh, it was so good. And also, I do enjoy it just right out of the pressure cooker and do it like mayonnaise. Honestly, it tastes exactly like tuna. That's all you taste is the mayonnaise and the mustard anyways. So yeah, carp really is a viable option for food. I'm just not taking any of these fish today because I don't really want to bother, honestly. But anyways, I'll let this guy go. Oh, I'm watching him swim away. And get big and fat, like the rest of these chunky carp that we've been catching today. All right, well, that's a day. I'm gonna go on home. Hope you enjoyed watching.